All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fan in the Van podcast. Christmas Day edition. You're damn right. You know we had to do it. You know we had to do that shit.
It don't feel like Christmas though. No snow.
That it definitely does. No snow. It's like 60 degrees out, and I'm in the house with a hoodie and a friggin' jersey on.
Oh man.
So
I don't know. We want to start. We want to start with last week's games.
Because one thing I wanted to discuss, as of course I'm wearing the jersey, so we have to discuss this.
Yes, because I got a couple questions to ask you about that.
All right. So everyone was fine with Juju, right? As he's dancing, we're winning. We're winning this game, winning that game.
Got you,
all right. Then all of a sudden we lose a game. Now we lose 2. Now we lose 3. If you think it's because Juju's dancing on logos, that's not the reason why.
It's not.
It's not. It's horrible play calling. It's horrible execution on Ben's part. And even Ben, listen, I didn't think Ben would come out and take accountability for it. He did. He said, if I'm playing like poo, then you got to call me out on it. And he's fine with it.
What I watched, man, he played like fucking utter goal. He had the worst half of his entire career.
But then the other thing that annoys me with the Bengal game is when Von Bell blasts Juju, and let's call it what it was. He freaking blew him. He
blew him away
in the next week.
But
now you're anointing him. You're anointing him a hero for that.
A hero? What happened?
That's what Cincinnati's
What
doing.
happened to Ebron though? Motherfucking, that was a bad fucking hit, dude.
Yeah, it was. But you know what? This is what it is. I mean, another missed pass interference call. Then there was one later in the game, and then I got to take to Twitter. And I have to be the voice of reason because you got these fans that are like, oh, that pass interference call cost us a game. Listen, that's not the thing that cost us the game. That's one of the many attributes. That's the smallest.
It's a shitty play.
That's the most minute one of them all. Because when you're running the same 14 plays a game, everybody's going to figure it out. And then when you finally get a run game with Benny Snell, what happens? You go away from it.
Yep. You're right back
and every time when you're in shotgun, and then you decide to draw play, and Snell runs one off for 7-8 yards, and then you get away from it by bombing it another 30 yards on first and 10. What's the point? Listen, bottom line is this: the end of the year, Fickner needs to go. Please, at the Todd Haley, please come back, please. We took you for granted. All right.
All bullshit aside, though, like the whole Juju dancing on the logos thing, all right, he's a young kid, he's having fun, it's a TikTok thing, all right. There's social media, there's shitty football. Address the shitty football, forget about the social media shit. These two have nothing to do with each other.
But the other issue is, and this is where the hating comes in on Juju, because he's built such a brand for himself off the football field that he could retire tomorrow. And he'd still be set for life. Because he's got his own cereal that's out, and yeah, we have 4 boxes of it, never eaten. You think of, he's got like a Twitch channel that he does with gaming. So he's got that. He's got his YouTube channel that's got probably like 800,000 million friggin' viewers, and they're probably all 12-year-old kids. Listen, he's built a name for himself off the football field as well as he has on the field. The other issue is that they're is that the media and all the haters want to treat him like a first-round wide receiver. And yeah, without Antonio there now, he has to step into that number 1 slot. But you're not seeing the little things he does because all these old-school football fans feel that a number 1 wide receiver, all you do is get 100+ catches a year, 2,000 yards receiving, and you catch every touchdown pass thrown to you. You don't see on the sideline when Washington drops a ball. Juju's the first one there talking him up like, listen, don't worry, you'll get the next one. Even when Deontay got the drops, which finally improved, caught everything thrown at him.
Caught everything last week thrown at him, too.
He's over there building him up. And for people to say that Ben wasn't a leader, when he throws that ball to Deontay in the end zone, if you didn't see when he goes, and this is what I talk about when I tell people you watch something different from what I watched. Because I watch the little things that go on the sideline, and Ben talks up the whole team. He's talking to everybody. If Ebron has a drop pass, you can read the lips. He's telling him, listen, you got to catch it, but next one, don't worry, I got it's going to you, and that's it. But the thing is, and I don't know why, they stopped going to Claypool a lot.
That's another thing I was going to address to you. The Steelers definitely do have to utilize him and involve him in the game a lot more.
Yeah.
Because of his size, his speed, and prime example, that pass interference call at the end of the game.
But even still, you gotta. There's somewhere even the ones that were called, he should have called them. The ones that weren't called, you still got to catch them because they're
If they
right
hit
there.
your hand,
They're
hit
right
your
there
hands,
in the
you catch
hands.
them.
You
You know what I'm
gotta.
saying? You get paid $1 million, you catch the ball.
You
You know what
gotta
I'm
catch
saying?
them.
Just like the fucking goddamn the field goal kickers, man. You get paid all this money, you make that 20-yard field goal. You can't make that shit, go home. You know, hop on the fucking bus.
You got them.
You know what I'm saying? Or find somebody who can.
But in other news, and it's Christmas come early for Giants fans, re-signed Logan Ryan to a 3-year, $31 million deal. So
Logan Ryan, okay. He definitely is one of my favorite DBs. But last week, with no James Bradbury, Mr. What's his name? Julian Love was on Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry fucking took advantage of him. So did Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield went his way every single play.
well, that's what you do.
Yeah,
You go after the weakest point on the
Yeah, yeah,
secondary,
of course,
and that,
yeah, I know,
that's
I
Love,
know.
unfortunately.
But they tried running with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Didn't get very far at all. But I'll give it to Baker, no matter Mr. Mayfield. I'm not my biggest fan, but I'm not his biggest fan. But I do give him credit. He made the plays when he had to, and Colt McCoy didn't. And
Yeah, which makes me want to vomit when I see Baker win. But
but the thing is, man, like we were first drive, man. We were first and goal. Should have kicked the field. I think we should have kicked the field goal. I don't think
in
we
that
should have went for it.
situation, and you know me when it comes to this, you never leave points on the table
Nope, you always take the
unless
trade.
it's the fourth quarter.
And you're getting blown the fuck out. You go. I
And-
understand.
Well, not only that, let's say say it's like fourth and goal, and you're at the 2,
Then you go for
and
it.
you got 5 seconds left. I'm sorry, I'm gambling it there, and I'm risking it. I'm going for the touchdown. I don't because you don't want to go. I mean, yeah, granted, a regular coach would go for the field goal, go into overtime, but then you're risking losing the game there too.
Yeah, with 5
so why
seconds
go to
left, you
overtime? Because anything can happen in any point of the game, even injury related. You can go into overtime and lose your best piece.
We're just walking out on the field too. Honestly.
And and it's funny because because my uncle replied to something that I posted on Facebook, how my trashing the Jets, which we're getting into this one.
Oh
now.
my god, man.
How me trashing the Jets for beating the Rams is my karma for the Steelers losing. First off, the Steelers lost before the Jets win, so the other 2 games. So it's not karma for that. What's funny though is how Jets fans now are mad about the win because now you don't get Trevor Lawrence. You don't get the coveted piece you want now.
Now Jacksonville's got the number 1 pick.
Yeah. So and the Jets play who this week? Cleveland.
We play Cleveland. No, they play Cleveland, and
Yeah.
then the Jets play the.
I think the Jets ended with the Patriots like they always do.
Oh yeah, we play.
Because that was the whole thing with the Jet-Patriot game, that if the Jets had not won a game,
0-15,
that
Bill
Belichick would have
fucked them.
sabotaged the game for them not to get Trevor Lawrence. And listen, I wouldn't blame him for doing it all, because guess what? Now Belichick don't got to do it.
Exactly. Who wants Trevor Lawrence in their fucking division? I wouldn't. Be honest with you.
I'd want him in my division, but on
my team.
But hey.
Another thing though, about this week, I've been hearing news about Joe Judge talking about possibility of starting Daniel Jones against the Baltimore Ravens. What happened? All right, Mr. Judge. All right, I'm gonna give you props. You did a decent job coaching so far this year. But what happened the last time you started Daniel Jones?
He wasn't healthy.
He wasn't healthy. He had a pull hamstring. Then what? Now he got a fucked up ankle.
But he said he liked the way he moved in practice, though. But that's practice. That's not a real
practice,
game time
man.
situation.
You get hit, man. Like you could easily tell he was not mobile as he always was. Then you start Colt McCoy the following week against the Browns. Okay, we lose. Boom. Don't start him this week. There's no point. Just let it go.
And then not only that, but the playoff percentage for you guys to get in now.
It's like 10%, not even. Bro.
It's like the Ravens situation where you need so many things to fall in place.
Well, the Eagles
are
playing Washington this week too. So the Eagles beat Washington, and which we're not going to beat fucking the Ravens, but anything can happen any given Sunday. Rams Jets. Just saying.
But I wouldn't risk it.
I wouldn't either.
But like it's like a 10% chance getting into the playoffs, and again, you need so many things to go right.
I'd rather not go to play. I'd rather get the draft.
You're better off just taking you guys. I think we get like the 8th
The
draft
10th. I think
pick
the
or
10th
whatever
pick
it
right
is,
now. I think we get 10th pick.
and just pick the
Best player available,
just-
I think.
Yeah, and not a punter with the 10th pick.
Oh God, no man.
And then that's the
Don't
other
get me
thing. And then Jets fans, that are mad about the win, right? So here's the thing you got to think of. Even if you had the number 1 pick, and me and my friend Sal were talking about this one morning on Facebook, going back and forth. And we both agree, Darno is not a bad quarterback. Your problem's not a quarterback. Your problem is
the
everything
offensive
else
line.
around the team. And I was reading something earlier where one guy made it, and it got me thinking a little bit. What if Adam Gase isn't the problem with this team? What if it's just the team in general? Maybe Adam Gase isn't the problem in over there with the Jets. Maybe it's what's around them. So if I'm Joe Douglas, I got a lot of thinking to do come the offseason, because they're talking about top 10 candidates who could take the Jets job. And I'll be honest with you, who on God's green earth would want that dysfunctional job? Who would want that? I know. Listen, if you're gonna pay me, you literally have to pay me a shit ton of money to
Got
go
a
there.
lot of work to do.
And then after a year of coaching that team and going 1-15, you'd have to put me in Bellevue because I would go utterly insane. Listen.
Oh,
whether you have
then.
whether you have the number 1 pick or the 2nd pick, and every knowledgeable fan is saying it, you go after an offensive lineman with that pick, and then you can get your wide receiver later in the draft.
You
get
wide
another
receiver
running
third,
back,
fourth, fifth round,
later in the draft. Case in point, the Steelers with Deontay Johnson. We got him in the 5th round or something like that.
Darius Slayton, overall 191, 5th round. Boom.
Listen, you could get any,
You can find a diamond in the rough.
You could get
You know what I'm
anything
saying?
anywhere within the draft. It's just a matter if your GM Gettleman
Shut the fuck up.
knows how to draft.
God.
Hey, listen, and reports are Jerry Reese wants back in the NFL. So if I'm the Giants, I'm calling Jerry Reese up right away, because Reese did draft well for you guys for for quite a while. That's all I'm going to tell you. Umanora won, and the list goes on with that.
Yep. Justin Tuck.
But
Odell Beckham motherfucking Jr. I hate you, David Gettleman.
Listen.
You destroyed that poor guy's fucking career. He had a fucking goddamn Hall of Fame career with the Giants.
I wouldn't and if you want to talk about that, as far as contracts given, then you trading guys. There's horrible contracts in general. All right. So now Carson Wentz talks about how if he's the backup, he wants out of Philly, right? How are you going to move Carson Wentz with all that money attached to it and not expect to either eat it, or you're going to have to release him and get nothing for him?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and they're talking about possible teams, and they're doing it with Stafford and Detroit too, of possible teams, that Wentz would be traded to if they could pull off a trade.
Hey, I heard one with you guys.
And yeah, no, I'm good.
I did.
I'd rather watch Mason Rudolph start for this team for 10 years and have Carson Trashbag Wentz on my team. San Francisco's one because, listen, San Francisco's probably going to opt out of that Garoppolo deal. And if I'm San Francisco, I do it. It saves you a ton of cap room at the end.
And Jimmy Garoppolo is not.
But they're also talking about the reunion of Garoppolo with Belichick in New England.
That right there would be a bad idea. Yo, I think Belichick would fucking. I think he would shape him up to be the fucking old Jimmy Garoppolo and Patriots when he saw those 4 games for Tom Brady.
Yeah, but
that suspension of the deflate game.
But also too, you gotta see. I don't think Belichick has much to prove anymore, and a lot of people are clamoring on social media. Oh, look, Brady could do it without Belichick. Listen,
Brady had to bring
the season ain't over yet, and not only that, you got Mike Evans, you have Godwin, you have Fournette, you have Ronald Jones who ain't playing again this week.
You have Antonio Brown,
you have Brown, Gronk, you have Cameron Brate, you got on defense with Shaq Barrett, Anadong Suh. Antonio Winfield
JPP.
Jr. is playing
JPP.
just like his father.
Yep, you have JPP
So,
down there.
they got a stacked team there in Tampa, and to only be like 7-5, whatever they are right now.
Yep, 7-5.
Or whatever they are right now, is quite surprising. To be honest,
I think they're 8-5 actually. They won last week. Yep.
But
8-5.
I don't see them winning the Super Bowl. I don't even see them getting to the Super Bowl.
No, definitely not. Brady is not.
But to say that Brady could have a winning season without Belichick, I do give
him that.
I do give the media, the sports media that. I'll give him that credit there because he has done it without it. Did he do it with a lot of weapons? Yeah, but guess what though? He also won in New England with a lot of guys. He made weapons.
Yeah.
Like Chris Hogan was one. You wouldn't know who Chris Hogan was if he never played in New England. He would be a practice squad wide receiver for the Vikings. Okay.
Danny Amendola.
Amendola is another one.
Edelman.
And Amendola's biggest mistake was ever leaving New England.
I know, fucking.
Because now he's just constantly hurt. He's constantly hurt in Detroit. Barely plays. And then nobody would have known who Edelman was. And
now he's a fucking.
And Gronk. I can't say Brady made Gronk a weapon because Gronk's a weapon. As much as I hate the guy,
he's a big
at tight end.
He's a big beast.
He's just.
He's like he's fucking Aaron Hernandez before.